And hi everybody out there, Mark Mannering here from Class Training with another you-know-what. 3 tips in 3 minutes, more or less, although I'll probably go over that a bit. I'm going to be covering Microsoft Copilot this time round. Now, I'm not talking about the Copilot standalone app, which you all have included with your Microsoft 365 subscription. I'm talking about the premium license of Copilot, which plugs into Excel, Word, Outlook, and so on. And that's an extra $30 per month per user for that whole bundle. So if you're still thinking about it for yourself or for your organization, this little video might help you out. So away we go. Now, as you might know, there are millions of examples we could cover, but I'm going to be covering the main 3 or 4 types of things you can do with Copilot for Excel. So tip number 1 is that Copilot can read your spreadsheets and reports and give you some insights and directly add those to your file. So I've got my finance report here, my profit and loss, and all these files for Copilot must be saved in the cloud, so in your OneDrive or SharePoint. So to access Copilot, we go to the Home tab in Excel here, we go to the icon, click the drop down and click on Chat. Now what comes up is the wrong mode, if you like, for Copilot for Excel. This is just the chat mode. You may as well use a standalone Copilot app, because entering your prompts here won't actually edit or add to your spreadsheet. It'll just give you good tips on how to do it yourself manually. So what we've got to do is go to the Tools button here and click on Agent Mode. So this is what I'll be using for all the examples. Now in the window here, we add in our prompt, and there it is there, and it says, please create a new sheet with a summarized version of the profit and loss data, include a nice chart, give me some trends in the data, some insights, any standout peaks or troughs and so on. And this will actually edit and add to your spreadsheet. Then we press enter or click the arrow here. Now I'm going to be speeding up the process here. This can take a couple of minutes. And there you are, in the blink of an eye, you've got a new sheet now with the response. And it's giving me a summary on the right hand side what it's done, but it's also, as I said, actually manipulated your spreadsheet and added that extra data. Now tip number 2 is where you can get Copilot to actually manipulate your data and clean it up if you've got any particular symbols in there that are not warranted or whatever. I've got, in this case, I've got my first name column, my last name column, columns A and B, and I want Copilot to combine the first 2 columns into a new column. So I'm already into the Copilot chat here. I've got to go to Tools and go to Agent Mode again. Click in here, enter the prompt. Please combine the 2 columns, A and B, into a new column. If you use formulas to combine the columns, convert those formulas to static values. So we press enter or click the arrow here, speeding it up. Here's the result. And you can see the first names and second name or last name has been combined into the uppercase capital letters, which I also indicated. And the results are also static values. They're not formulas. Maybe you could have fixed up the formatting a bit better and so on. And the third tip is similar, but a bit more involved, where it can work out the best scenario to solve the issue that you want. So for example, I've got my purchase order system here and current orders. I've got my stock code, and I've got some orders from my customers for the particular stock. And I want to check, I want to indicate whether the particular stock code is in stock. And I've got the relevant data on the second sheet here called in stock. So these are all the current products I have in stock, identified by the stock code. And going back to the current orders, I want to check if each of those are in stock. And I don't really know how to do it. I'm going to ask Copilot to come up with the best scenario and to actually do it. So again, I go to the Copilot drop down, we go to chat, click the tools icon, go into agent mode and enter the prompt. And summarizing this prompt, it says I have my current orders for the particular stock codes. I want to indicate or use whatever formulas or means to indicate yes or no in column G, whether it's in stock or not, as identified by the in-stock sheet. And then I wanted to color code the results, yes in green, no in red. Press enter or click the green arrow. And there you are, there's a result. It only took a couple of minutes, that one. Again, it's indicated the steps it took on the right-hand side there. If I click the first example, yes, I can see that it actually added a formula in, which I wouldn't have come up with, or something else, so that if I add more records down here, all that will be extended. I don't need to set it up again. And the final bonus tip for you is getting Copilot to do the whole kit and caboodle. In other words, I can get it to search for data like Googling on the web, but bring that into a spreadsheet, give me some key insights and so on. I've got a blank worksheet here, which I've already saved in the cloud. I go into Copilot here, go to chat, again, go straight into agent mode and enter my prompt. Okay, so the example I'm looking at is I'm researching property prices in Australia. I'd like you to search for the median property prices in the 7 states of Australia over the last 10 years. Put the results in a table. Give me some useful insights, trends, peaks, and include a suitable chart. So we'll see how that goes. And there you have it, a nicely formatted table with all the data and the required information, key insights and analysis, key trends and market insights, some possible reasons for the trend in the property prices, even given me some resources or where it got the information from at the bottom. It's got the usual log of what it did on the right hand side in the Copilot pane. If I scroll across to the right, there's a line chart of the data, but actually that line chart is wrong. It's also plotting the actual year, whereas the year itself should be labeled on the x-axis. So there you have it, people. Just a small snippet of what you can do with Copilot for Excel. Similar things with Copilot for Word and Outlook. I'll be looking at that in later videos. But we cover all this in our Excel courses running over here. So look over there or down there for the link to the courses and when they're on, face-to-face sessions here in Albury and also live online sessions. Or contact me if you've got any queries about running a session just for yourselves, for your particular personnel. Mark Mannering signing off from Class Training. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.